part 4 of our Jackson project, the duct sealing. A Learn at Lunch video from our homeowner series by Let's Really Teach HVAC. Making your duct system 20% more efficient. Here in our wholesale house, we're going to show you what duct sealing to buy, and most wholesale houses will let the homeowners come along and pick out these type of things and buy them. You can't buy equipment, but you can buy sealant, tape, screws, that type of thing. And here is one of several different duct sealing depending on what that wholesale company sells. This one is hard cast duct seal 321. Alright, here we are back on the Jackson job. We've done a lot of work on this project so far. We've taken care of the supply registers, brought them through the floor, and we've sealed them. We've addressed the return air issue. We have now the blower on continuous run, which is another part of it. And today we're going to do something that every homeowner can do. You get a bucket of this, it's what's called duct seal. And it's a liquid, semi-liquid paste, and you seal the duct. Right where I'm sealing here is about 20% the loss of this fitting. It's absolutely amazing when you see how much it is. But every joint needs to be sealed. You are not painting it on. This is a seal. So it's not how far out you get or anything else. You've got to know where the crack in the metal is, which is in here and in here, and that's where you want to get the sealant. On the outside and all over the rest of it doesn't seal anything. Here's another seam. Now, I'm doing this and talking and saying, what about the top of the duct and that type of thing? The best part of that is get an old towel and keep it with you handy, and what you do is you take the old towel and you brush it. Just take all you need is the seams. So we're way down there before the seam. This one here is exposed, don't need it. But if you need to clean the dust off, just use a towel. And now we're going to get into some other things. So this is me showing you how to do it, making sure that it's all sealed. You notice how much I've actually used out of the can. It's not very much here. And it's not how much you put on, it's where you put it on. Yeah. You got to get all the way around. And so, okay, that's it for now. Now we're going to see the homeowner do it. I'm just standing here like everybody else, and I'm looking at this and I'm sealing it, and it didn't hit me till just this moment, and I'm saying, well, the next thing we have to do is adjust the flow on the duct. We all know that from the last tap to the end of the duct, we should have anywhere between 6 and 12 inches. That builds the back pressure. We've got a tap here, we got a tap on this side, which goes to the master bedroom, and we got a tap that comes off this side, right here, that goes up to the laundry room. We have lost our back pressure. So the only way we can gain that back is with the dampers. It's going to be a little tricky here to see how we can damper it down to gain it back, and if they did it here, they did it at the other end, which is buried in the ceiling. Little issue to come across. If you wonder why things don't work, here's a good example why things don't work. Now it's Paul's turn to get going on this. He just grabbed the brush and he says that looks easy enough, and he started. I says, but you got to do the top part. I did the bottom part. So he cleared off his workbench and got at it. And we talked about it as he was going and as I was filming this, because I didn't film him standing there doing this for an hour or so. But he says when he got to the top side and around the back there, and he started getting me up to the takeoffs up on the top part of the duct, he says he didn't even have to look to see where things were. He brushed it down with a towel, and he just started painting it because he could feel the air coming out and hitting him. So, because we had the blower on, so he knew right where the seal was, and he said I just kept gooping it and smearing it until it stopped. And
Yeah. Not the fun kind. What's that?
No, there are no fun kinds. That's why they call it a job. You're just saying that a company usually charges like $700 to do a duct sealing in the basement, even more than that, depending on the size of the house and how much duct there is, and how easily accessible it is.
I could see why somebody would charge $700 plus to do it, because it's just not a quick thing to do.
No.
Not easy to get to all these places. But easy enough to do.
There you go. Well, it's something the homeowner can do.
Right.
It's not a skill. It's a, you know, you don't even have to be a skilled painter.
Thank God.
You know, you don't get grades for what's up above the ceiling and everything where you're hitting your head.
Yeah.
Is this a hard hat type situation?
Huh. I don't know that I could get my head up here with a hard hat on it to see what the heck I'm doing.
we're going to do some more duct sealing. And here we are at the furnace. And you can see how lovely this duct tape that they put on here, which is just a classic job here. That really worked well for whatever reason. But it's harder to get a good seal with this stuff if you got tape on it first. So take the tape off if it comes off. Take your time. You only have a little seal down here. And some people are saying, well, why don't you use a tube of caulking? You could when the guy was putting it together, but he didn't. So we're going to use this. Now the other thing is, if you're really going to seal it, not just up here at the corners, but all the way down to Pittsburgh. That is not airtight, although it is fireproof. It is a fire rated seal, where the button lock here on this one is not a fire rated seal. And you guys should know that when you're doing commercial residential. There, and here. The S-cleat is important, especially where it all comes together here. There's where it leaks. Both sides. That is your major leak. We'll get lights on the other side and do the rest of it. I'm just trying to get it across here. And on top. There you go. Now, all the way up here on this fitting, this was put on there in the 70s. And of course, that was never leaked. That wasn't even a thought of by those guys. So all of this leaks like this little sieve. I noticed that they got a screw in their drives here, and I figured it out. This is a hot air, and where it goes and they can't get the drive at the top to bend over correctly. They just screwed it at the bottom. So at the top, there's going to be a big hole too. What's scary is this is all put in by somebody who's trying to teach somebody how to do it correctly in a school setting. They missed. They missed. It's a good way of cleaning your brush mark away. There you go. Did I make it look real easy? Well, that brings this segment to an end. We're moving the thermometers around the house. We're going to have them on all 3 levels. And then we'll come back and see how all of this works next time. So out to lunch we went, and I tell you the name of the restaurant because the food was really good, except they closed up and went out of business since this film was made. And I was very surprised to hear that because it was really good. Well, here we are. Let's really teach HVAC. I hope you learned something. We're trying to keep this so that you can. And we'll see you next time on the results of this project.